on if you're going to reverb.
We are ready to roll, my friend.
In case you get, I'm here. In case you get any reverb, I just got a headset ready.
Yeah, no worries. So we are on our very first Facebook Live brand audit with my man, Jason the Hammer. He is brave enough to let me take a peek at his website, kind of pick at it a little bit, give him some suggestion in regards to what we could improve with it, what actually he has that is really good, and just looking at some of the things that we could tweak possibly to help him get more conversion from all the visitors that he's getting from his site. So what we're going to do is I'm going to share screen, and we're going to walk through Jason's homepage and kind of give him some tips on how we can improve it. So let's go ahead. So first of all, Jason, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, thanks. Henry, my friends truly do call me Hammer, so feel free.
All right, done. All right, so let me share screen here. Let's get your website up. And we are going to take a peek. Let me get this a little bit larger. Okay, so Originator success. Get a consistent stream of new leads and get off the pipeline roller coaster. So let me ask you a quick question, Hammer. Who's your target audience?
Mortgage loan originators in the United States, generally working brokers or working for large companies, but very focused on their own business. I'm not looking for enterprise clients.
Got it. So are you using specific verbiage or lingo to kind of qualify your clients with this headline?
Yeah, mortgage loan originators call all the loans that they're working on their pipeline. And every loan originator is familiar with what they call a pipeline roller coaster, because just like in a lot of sales, if they're not busy, they go out, they prospect, they get business, then they start to work that business. And there's a lot of work as an originator. Your job is twofold. It's part sales and it's all back office. You have to get the loans done. So it's they get busy, and then as they work on those files, all of a sudden their pipeline dries up because they're not prospecting, they're not bringing in any new leads. Then they close all those deals, they panic because they don't have a paycheck, they go out, they work again, and that's kind of what they see. It's like waves, and that's the pipeline roller coaster. So most originators are very familiar with that.
So excellent job there. Two things. One is you're qualifying your audience by using this terminology. The second thing is you're actually solving a problem right then and there, right on top of the fold, which is, it was impressive to see. Not a lot of websites are doing that right now. So kudos to you for actually seeing that, knowing that, and executing that on the site right above the fold there. Then as we scroll down a little bit, we have the your social proof. So you're working with these brands, which obviously are specifically in your niche, which is awesome. Then we have Originator Success is a mortgage loan originator lead generation and marketing platform with you in mind, with your automated review, capture, turnkey online brand building program, and agent marketing. Okay, so that's exactly what you deliver. So set yourself apart from the competition, make it easier for prospects and agents to find you, convert those visitors into leads, and lead loads.
Now let me ask you, you're a big Don Miller fan, as am I, Story Brand. I actually had thrown this together before I learned more about that, but what would you do there as far as, breaking it down for the plan, rather than just having three things that they're benefit statements, but they don't really flow as far as a plan? Would you change that to be, kind of the plan, like what we do?
Well, what I think you can do is I would do it in steps. Like he likes the step 1, 2, and 3 process, and he says anything after step 4 and 5, your conversion starts to go down. So possibly doing something just as simply as step 1, step 2, step 3, and taking them through that journey, taking them through that plan, that guide, right? Instead of just having 3 images here that, you know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit of clarification, that's all. But yeah. I love the benefit-driven statements. They're great. Then you have another testimonial here, which is cool.
Question on design for that. What do you think of the font? Is it too hard to read, or do you think that that's okay?
I think it's a bit harsh to read. So it's twofold, right? So I think what I like about the design is you break it up with this blue banner, right, to kind of break it up. But then I think the scripty font is a little bit difficult to read. So I may glance over it because it's almost like a little bit hard on the eye. So maybe changing that up, but I like the way you differentiated it with the blue background and having the image of the woman there as well. You know, the other thing that will out trump any written testimonial is a video testimonial.
Okay.
Okay. The other thing is, let me read this real quick because there's different types of testimonials too, and I want to see where this one fits in. I love my new look and website. First time ever, I'm getting compliments on the website and clients. Okay. I'm blown away by Hammer's level of service. Yeah. So that was an experience-based testimonial, and those work really, really well. So again, these are you have a lot of strong elements on this site. However, I do see something that I'm gonna mention later on. I want to give you all the good first.
Originally, no call to action right now because we're currently changing our fulfillment backend in Infusionsoft, so there's no button to buy right now.
That's exactly what I was going to call out. Yeah. So now that we know that, I understand why it's not there. But you know what would be beautiful is literally a button here that just tells them what to do.
Well, what I'll find, and as you go through these products, here's what I found. By confusing your clients, it's the worst thing you can do, and I've committed a cardinal sin. We've created a suite of products that work very well in an a la carte fashion. The problem is that you start to, like you said before about having more than 1, 2, or 3 plan pieces, you confuse people, or that lowers conversions. We found that as we showed them these different products, they would say to me, well, what do I need? And if I get this one, do I need that one? And do I do whatever? So what we really did was, the reason we pulled everything off, we're revamping it right now and we're re-releasing it for April, is we're actually taking and putting these all together, almost like what Thrive does, where they have their individual pieces, but then they have the Thrive themes package where you get everything, the builder and this, the themes and all that stuff, because we found that we were confusing our people. And they were not buying anything because they were afraid of buying the wrong thing. It was crazy. So we're actually going to take and put it together as a suite and then package it a little bit better. And then I'll have that one button, like you said, because I agree with you 100%.
Nice. Well, that's exactly, simplification is the way to go. I mean, look at all the beautiful sites out there. They're very simplistic in nature. I mean, there's really nothing to them but simplicity, which that's the name of the game nowadays. When you ask somebody to do too much, they do nothing at all.
Analysis paralysis.
Exactly. So let me see here. So lead side. So you're going to combine all of these 3 into, well, actually 4 pieces, right?
And actually, I need your help on that one. So let me ask you a question. What we do, the other products, the names reflect what they do. So lead sites are websites with, focus on lead generation. Lead pages are pages that you can go along with your website that are focused on a particular niche. So for mortgage people, they're looking for first-time buyers or maybe veteran buyers or move-up buyers or reverse mortgages. So there's specific landing pages for one theme, right? Reputation automation is a system designed to get referrals and testimonials and to get online reviews. And then this element that's missing, I've called it brand builder. I've called it online brand explosion. I can't come up with a name I like. What we do is we actually take an originator, we set them up with Google My Business, so they have a Google Knowledge panel. We, go through their LinkedIn profile, their Facebook profile for their pages to optimize that when someone Googles you, which they're going to do for anything, whether they're referred, whether they're finding them cold, everybody looks to see what you're about on the internet. And when they Google them, they come up with their finding. And if you Google originators, it's amazing how a lot of times you can't find contact information. You can't find a phone number. You can't find an email. And here it is. These are salespeople. You can't even find a way to contact them. So we go through and we create not only just great ways to contact them, but also we tell their story. We make sure that everything is pushing back to their site, that everything is designed for conversion. What would you call that product? Like we call it their online resume, where they kind of understand that. Just kick it around, if anything, off your head, or even drop me a line later. But what would you call something where you're building their brand online so that when somebody comes up and Googles them, that they see everything about? You know what I mean? Am I conveying it to you clearly?
Yeah, for sure. There's got to be a word or a name for it to make it prolific, make it, to make it stand out. Okay. All right, excellent. Let me think about that. But yeah, I mean, the individual's brand, the personal brand of each individual client of yours will definitely have a significant impact on the level of success that they have and how clearly they tell their story, right?
Right. And differentiating themselves from their competition, because let's say you as, just a normal guy and a consumer, if you're buying another house, how do you know who to work with? Either a referral or what separates them? Why are you going to choose one to work with? So that's what we help teach them to do. And I can't think of I've gone through a couple of names, but nothing I ever really love. So.
Okay. So agent power tips, get more business from your real estate agent. I like how you had, you have 3 bullet points. That's it. 1, 2, 3. A little bit of text here, and you're in and out. You're in and out with each of these, which is powerful stuff. Again, here, great. Thank you, Hammer, for your team's service. This has been a pleasure. Okay, same thing. The text is a little tough, but the differentiator, it kind of stands out, which is great too. And then you have the bottom part here that looks great too. So besides the call to action, right? So here's a couple of things, right? So you want to take, and you're a Don Miller enthusiast as well as I am, right? So a couple of things that he talks about is taking them through the storyline, right? And it seems like you do that really, really well. As far as the few questions that I have for you is, what differentiates you from your competition?
Okay.
I'm asking you.
Well, there's really, there's not a lot of competition for what we provide, because the mortgage space and marketing in the mortgage space is archaic. So other than websites, that's really, if you go to like the website section, you'll see when, what defines us, what makes us different. If you go to that lead site section, scroll up just a little bit in the middle there where it said lead sites. There you go. So our lead sites are websites that actually generate leads. So there's your benefit statement and what differentiates us from the competition. That's kind of so it's sprinkled in each product.
Got it. All right. So last but not least, because we want to wrap up here, we want to keep this tight to 15 minutes. I see a couple things. Okay. And this is I think this is gonna be the kicker for you. I see people referring to you personally, Hammer. Yeah. I see down here he mentioned you, Hammer. Okay. This tells me a couple things. This tells me that people are connected with you personally. And one of the biggest, as a brander, I've known this for years, but a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners don't get this concept of H to H. Forget about B2C, forget about B2B. I'm talking about H to H, human to human interaction. And I can tell that you're doing a good job with this, because these testimonials are speaking of you personally. They're not saying Originator success has helped me do this, and they're saying Hammer, they're calling you out. But here's the thing, you are nowhere to be found on this website.
You think I need to be? I'm trying to get out of that limelight. It's funny because I agree with you on the H to H 100%, but I'm trying to pull myself away from my own brand a little bit because I'm a, serial entrepreneur, if you will, and I've got other endeavors as well. And I'm trying to make this self-sustaining without necessarily always focusing on me. What's your take on that?
I think it's going to actually increase your revenue and increase your. So I'm going to fight you on that one.
Okay.
I think that if you add the personality to this page of you, you are going to 5x this growth. I can feel it. I know it. I know you personally. I know the warmth that you send out and that you put out there on social. And I'm telling you that if you do that, if you share your story like you're telling your audience to do them, you are showing, improving, and demonstrating the power of personal brand. Now, again, it goes. I see what you're saying. You don't want you to be this whole entire brand, which you won't be. You won't be, and it's okay. But I'm a strong proponent of putting the H to H personality into this and having them connect with you personally. It's the wave of the future. I think you're going to, if you do this now, you're going to win big. And I can tell you, I mean, Russell Brunson, one of my business coaches, he told me to do this back in 2014, and that's why I'm talking to you today, because I took action on that advice immediately, and it's literally just 10x my business since 2014. I mean, seriously. So again, this was a pretty good site. I've seen a lot worse, and when I came to the site, it was a breath of fresh air because I wanted to take this on a branding hot seat because I wanted to point out really all the good and to show the community and show our audience that these are the key elements that should be in your website. And if they're not, they're costing you money by the day. Yeah. But awesome job, man. You stopped sharing. Yeah, you did a phenomenal job. I mean, I know you a while now, Ham. You look at things very under a tight microscope, and you're one to not kind of slap something together. That's what I get from you. And it looks like you put a lot of thought, and you're implementing a lot of what Don Miller is saying into the site, which is why it's probably converting for you pretty well.
That's why I like the Don Miller stuff. What's funny is that was built before I'd ever even heard of Story Brand. Don Miller, his philosophy. Andy Jenkins is the one that actually turned me on to using the idea of Hollywood stories and that, kind of that frame. Plus, it's just being years and years and years in sales. I'm sure you have the same thing where you find things that resonate with what you already do and you grow from them. That's why I love like a Brunson and a Belcher, these guys, because Brunson, he takes things to market and acts faster, which I need to do more of. I suck at that. I'm way too much of a perfectionist.
Yeah. So. Well, you can tell because that site is very cleanly put together, and you're speaking of the customer. You're keeping them. You're making them the hero, and you're just guiding them through your services, which is super, super effective. And we have another hot seat coming up in just a few minutes, and it's almost a 180 opposite of what you are doing. And that one's going to be a lot more fun. So, Hammer, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming live here and doing a Facebook Live branding hot seat with me. I'm hoping the audience got some great value out of that. You are leading by example, my friend, and super appreciative to have you come aboard.
Thanks, Henry. Tipping my hat to you for doing it. It's great to give back to everybody, and I love that you're doing the hot seat thing. So it's a great format. Good luck with it.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Hammer.
Here.
Take care.